well that we had. We've got a little bit of a different adventure planned for tonight.
What are we looking for?
We are looking for the comet Neowise, which is visible for like the next couple of days. Unfortunately, we have a lot of clouds out here. Oh wait, you can see it.
It's a plane.
Behind the plane. You can actually see it. I'm not used to dealing with light pollution like this. This is we've been very spoiled these past few months out in the middle of nowhere. But you can see this thing with the naked eye. It's literally trailing right here. And with a long exposure, it might look pretty cool. That's it. This is the first time I've ever seen a comet. It's pretty crazy. Have you ever seen one before? In like real life?
I don't know.
I think the last like really visible one like this was in like 1997 or something like that. It was a long time ago. Hale-Bopp, I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that.
I don't really remember that. I was too young. I mean, 7, 8 years old, and I definitely didn't come out and look at it like this. This is, unfortunately, we got a lot of clouds, so it's kind of hard to, like, it's dipping right behind the clouds right now, or the clouds are kind of obstructing our view, but this thing won't be visible again for another 6,800 years. What do you think? Should we wait for these clouds to pass, or just try to come out tomorrow night?
We can come back every night until we get it.
Hopefully one of the next few nights here we get perfectly clear skies and can spend a couple hours out of here really trying to capture it. I have quite a few things planned for the van here over the next few days. Quite a few reasons why I'm making some changes as well. I'm going to get into that a little bit later in the video. But first, we have some visitors this weekend. Haven't seen my sister in like almost a year at this point, and Nico and Morgan as well. They're coming down. We're going to try to hang out a little bit. Pretty fun weekend. Got to hang out with Nico and my sister and Morgan. Definitely a lot of fun. And now it is time to get to work. It's Sunday evening now, and we're just gonna pretty much try to focus on this project for the entire week here. And the plan here is to pretty much redo the kitchen. And there are a few reasons for why we want to redo the entire kitchen setup in here and kind of remodel. The main one is that eventually Shannon and I are more than likely going to consolidate into one vehicle. I know a lot of folks ask like why we're not in the same van right now, and I'll get into that maybe another time. But the bottom line is eventually we will consolidate, and when we do, chances are the person who buys my van is not going to want this giant gaping hole here that I was using to store my digital piano in. Like, more than likely they're not going to want a digital piano when they're living in a small van like this. So we really want to maximize this storage space and try to reconfigure it. We are going to try to kind of maintain it so like from the outside it's going to look pretty much the same as it does now. It's just all the storage compartments are going to be a little bit more detailed, and I'm going to try to use a lot of Lex's cross dowel construction that we used in previous video. If you haven't seen that video, definitely would recommend checking it out. I'll put a link in the description below. But we're going to try to do the cross dowel method with 1/2-inch plywood and then try to make it look more professional, make it look nicer so that it fits really nicely with the bed setup here that we did a few months ago. Got the plywood now, pretty much everything that I think we're gonna need to get started on this. Planning to start tomorrow. Shannon and I actually drew it up in her little book that she has, a little sketchbook yesterday. So we kind of have a rough idea of how we're going to reconfigure the storage. We are basically going to use the skeleton of the kitchen setup that I already have here, but the interior we're going to basically entirely remove and then replace it with 1/2-inch plywood, like I said yesterday, using Lex's cross dowel method. Just try to make it sturdier. I'm planning to use aluminum C-channel to mount the entire kitchen setup to the floor like we did with the bed on this side when we built the bed a few months ago, and kind of just replicate a lot of the same things that I learned with Lex with the bed setup into the kitchen area here. And it's not going to be perfect, but the main goals with this kitchen remodel are to make this thing look a little bit nicer. It's really beat up right now. It does not look great. And then also to make it more secure. Like I mentioned in the last video, it's been toppling over like crazy. It's flying around because the mounts all broke when we were on that crazy road back in Utah. Actually, things kind of started to fall apart. So I really just need to kind of touch everything up and make it so that it's more secure, so that it's safer. I'm probably going to mount it to the floor, like I said, with those aluminum C-channels. I'm also going to likely use a riv nut to mount it into the back, into the wall, using another method that Lex taught me. So hopefully these things will work out, guys. I'm just going to do the best that I can with this. It should be pretty fun. You know, it is going to look a little bit different. The storage is definitely going to be a little more organized. Maybe I'm going to try to get a couple of drawers in here as well, so that it really does look nice. And then I'm going to have to reconfigure the desk setup. Right now I'm using a piece of MDF, which is super heavy, and it just kind of sits in the back. So whenever I open the rear doors, the thing like falls out and falls on me. The amount of times it's landed on my toes, it's so painful. Definitely not a lot of fun. So I'm going to come up with a better solution for the desk setup as well. Likely something similar where it rests on drawer slides, but so that the piece of wood is going to have a home, so that it's not just kind of flying around the van when I'm driving around and stuff. Just a few little upgrades. You know, this is just kind of part of the whole van life thing. I know I've mentioned this before, but kind of moving along and figuring out what better solutions work with the setup, and kind of working on different ways to kind of reconfigure so that it is optimized and better for me while I'm living in this little van on the road. In more exciting news, we actually have somewhat clear skies tonight. There's a little bit of clouds, but it's definitely a lot better than it's been the last like 4 or 5 nights in a row. We've gone out trying to see the comet for one last time. We got like 2 more days before it's gone forever, and we haven't been able to see it because it's been so foggy and so cloudy. But I'm thinking either tonight or tomorrow night we're going to get one last look at it. So we're getting eaten alive out here. Absolutely brutal, but we can actually see it. It's a little bit harder to see with the naked eye tonight than it was the other night, but I've got the longer lens out, so I'm getting really close, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I guess the first step to rebuilding the kitchen here is going to be taking it all apart, and I think today is probably going to be a pretty long day. I'm planning to head over to my grandfather's. He's actually planning to help me with this. He's got a bunch of tools and stuff, so we're going to go work on it at his place. He actually helped me build the Element camper almost 5 years ago at this point, when we built out the original version of the Element. So should be a fun couple of days, guys, but definitely going to be pretty exhausting. Really looking forward to it, though. I'm really kind of excited about changing this up, making it so that it is a little bit more livable and a little bit more comfortable, and just making improvements. It's just fun to build stuff like this. I really do enjoy it. It's all going to be part of the next video, though. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all in that one.